All right, so Peterbot Pollo just went on an insane run yesterday in the opens, winning 6 of 8 games with like an average of almost 20 elims. And then in the finals, they won 5 of the 6 games. Joe Cash Cup, this is of course. So one of 3 options will be true. Either they're the best team in the world or the region. The region's just totally awful, or some combination of both. So let's figure out which one of these 3 it is. Firstly, with an opens game. This game is somewhat in the middle of the tournament, and interestingly, they've been already knocked off of spawn. They do obviously try to land at Grim Gates, go for the medallion, but they have been pushed off because they've been outdropped. So not a great start already. So I do want to know exactly what kind of loot they end up getting from this drop. But it's an important point. If you're getting outdropped, having alternatives that you can dip to land safely and not just land in a really bad spot, giving the other team the advantage. So already a good start that they know they have some sort of backup plan off the rip. All right, seems like they've seen a team that also lands near them. Maybe a solo. He's built out, blocks the pad immediately. Oof, and then the double dink headshot just to pick up the body straight away. And I don't know where this other player is because that's obviously, I don't see him on the map down in the bottom right anywhere. So yeah, this is obviously, like, I would imagine not their main strategy, since they did not try 50-50 the chest off spawn. We'll see in the finals game. However, again, they have some sort of backup plan where they can dip out and try to grab some sort of loot before, I imagine, pushing straight back into Grim's Gate and looking for the medallion and the mythic. All right, let's see. They've already started the boss fight in here, so the team thinks that they're safe. So good job sneaking, but he's probably been seen there. Okay, already opens with a big damage. Now this team's starting to play it well. So he's taking damage back, but because of the fish that they fished earlier, getting it instant, they've created a beautiful pinch straight away. Pollo just spraying from the backside. Not doing any attempt to like go for walls until they get into his piece. And then once he gets damaged, he gets out. Nice. Whilst Peterbot was basically playing for walls, and he was the one going, basically spraying from the side, being the distraction. Really nice pinch. And probably I think we're going to see the same thing again. Peterbot going for the walls. Pollo spraying in the back. Nice. Holding the wall, not getting too cautious. Not being too slow. What's the word I'm looking for? He dies. GG. Nice, okay. Really love that. The majority of that fight is just a nice little pinch that they took with one player spraying, one player going for walls. Then as you see that the player who's going for the walls gets focused, say Pollo then, for example, could go and replace the wall because he knows he's safe to do so and create an opening behind them. Nice. And this is another thing that if you end up placing a bunch of walls, I don't know in the particular exact spot because I think there's a bunch of spawn locations. Someone will be able to correct me in the comments, I'm sure. However, basically the horizontal lines along here, if you place the walls on, the boss will just spawn inside of them like this. And as you can see, he just doesn't even move. So it's completely free to kill him here. And I'm not sure if you can do this in any of the other spawns, but I know you can do this in Grim Gate. You don't even have to end up fighting him. You can do it completely safe and covered. And now they have the mythic, which do they tend to take? Yeah, the mythic shotgun here, which is insanely good. And also, obviously, the dash medallion, which is the biggest part of their strategy. Also interesting to see them push back this way, outside of Storm. There's one player. I imagine they're either looking for the underworld, as that... What's Fax City doing? Just chilling back here. Either looking for the underworld POI, I would imagine, since they can see on the map that this has not been taken. So grabbing both of these medallions gives you, of course, Siphon. Then it also gives you the dash. In duos, Siphon's good, but it's not as amazing because only one player gets it. But it does allow that player to then like sneak off into the back. And this is always a kind of awkward situation if you're a player as well, because you see a bunch of the old builds. So you know there's been teams landing here. You know it's looted, but then the boss hasn't been fought yet. So in their mind, they're probably thinking, okay, there's someone camping here, so we must be like as safe as possible. How do they end up playing it? Bubble shield straight down. Interesting. No. I don't know if that's a strategy that they use, or if they just had bubble shields and they just want to chuck them down to be extra safe. But I like it. Oh, seems like something intentional. I think the only important part of this is just making sure the last 2 minions that spawn, there's no point in shooting them, because you can just insta-kill the boss and they'll kill the last 2 minions as well. These bots also drop a lot of whites, so you normally get a good few medkits from killing the minions. So if you're going to end up fighting for this in Storm, you usually feel pretty safe that you can just heal afterwards. So yeah, I don't just say don't need to carry whites into that fight, but it's a good idea that you can, well, you already know that you can grab a bunch of medkits afterwards. All right, at this point, they basically have the best loot in the game. Look at this inventory right now. With 2 medallions, I can't see who has which medallion in terms of who has Siphon and who has the dash, or if they both have each. But of course, with the dash medallion, use it, drop it, use it, drop it. Okay, but you get sneaked up on by another team. Lovely pre-fire shot. And he's... Okay, that guy just instantly gets deleted because of the nice pre-fire. And there we go. I want to see exactly what Pollo was doing in that fight. Yep, so you can see pre-fire came through from Peterbot. Good start. Again, Pollo's on the other angle. Shoots him in the back. And then his teammate starts to come through, and again, Pollo jumps over, and Peterbot sprays from the other side. So like, they're continually switching up of angles. Both players always were pinched between the two of them, which creates an extremely difficult situation for you to fight from if you've always got players shooting on one side and on the other. They're just like full psychoing. There's not really any like consideration of zone positioning. It would seem like at this point in the game, it's just literally just W key. Dash just... Oh, the beautiful piece, full box. Exit piece as well. I love that exit piece that he did there. Obviously it did nothing because the guy got out. But as you see, he ended up piecing through, getting this wall here, and he obviously maybe thought he got the cone on top. So this wall that he ended up going and trying to exit piece was the only wall that he didn't manage to grab because the opponent had it first. So going around that side to try and exit piece from Pollo was really nice. Even though, of course, like the player got out. Just spraying in. Peterbot's done a mad one. Opponent tries to get away. This shotgun does so much damage from range. Instantly drops down on the right side. And starts playing from the side. Rather than chasing from behind. Nice. And just straight wall replaces and kills him. It's hard to even like analyze these guys' fights because they do it so quickly. Patience with the sniper. I like it. And it pays off, of course. Now they've opened this fight in a massive way. His teammate's just running. Ah, no. All right, play for Island. I don't really... Is there much... I don't really know if any point in playing for Island. I guess for Pollo, you can get an upgrade on his loot. What do they end up getting? Gold SMG from here. Gold Gatekeeper as well. And Drum if you wanted to, but I highly doubt. He gets Mythic. Peterbot gets Gold. And of course, Peterbot will end up taking the... he probably just got the drum mag on it, I imagine. So he just upgraded it to have 5 shots, so you can reload a little better. That is an insane W keying gun. Yeah, so you can tell that he doesn't know. He's always kind of looking up and above. I love covering the walls in front, the cones in front of him, just to make sure they can't edit through. Because he still has no idea where they are. And dips out. See, because the zone's coming, these guys are eventually going to rotate, but they'll also find what seems to be a solo. Both go on opposite walls. And this guy's just instantly dead. Immediately you can see like how fast and how aggressive they are. Like Peterbot just goes to the wall on the one side, and Pollo either goes for the wall there, the other wall on the left, or underneath. If you do it quick enough and with enough aggression, there's just... well, the more point is if you time it at the exact same time, because look how close they are together, right? They're almost within like a tile or two. So as soon as one player starts spraying on a wall, the other one's going to go for this, you know, grab that same thing immediately. Again... Basic exact same thing. Peterbot going around the back, just spraying. Doesn't even have to go for walls per se. Just literally needs to just shoot the walls behind them. With his pump, with his AR, just kind of cut off some of those exit points, grab some of the placements. What am I talking about? I'm just absolutely waffling. Pinch him. It's the basics. Yeah, I'd be interested to see their positioning going into this partial zone. Because they appear to be like rotating deeper into the dead side, which for a team who wants a W key can be a good strategy because no one's going to be behind you. So it gives you the like freedom to W key with less people third partying you. All right, so both players now have 3 charges. Chilling on Surge, obviously. I think Jiven just went down in the feed. Rip. They're scouting out dead side there to see if they can rotate. Zone pulls far. They do have a juice now. So again, they can juice dash. So they've juiced once. With the Flowberry Fizz, you can actually... Ooh, straight on ahead. Unlucky pump. Okay, nice. Yeah, with the Fizz, if you fizzed and you have dashes, you can continually fly through the sky like that. That's basically like the entire rotation made from those dashes. Landed straight on Pump's head is unfortunate, but... And they are being heavily aggressive still. And I love this how, like, Peterbot, now that they're kind of in endgame, you can see Peterbot's just playing Pump out, right? Like, he's essentially an extension in that situation, or Pollo was an extension of Peterbot. So Peterbot was running, looking for angles. Pollo was just following him, looking at the exact same place, just shooting at the exact same place. I would usually find that's one of the easiest ways for teams to get good at shooting and like fighting and getting refreshes in in-game. It's just assuming that you are one player with an extension of another player. Like, they just shadow you, follow you, look at the same direction, stuff like this. Like, they're not trying to pinch or do anything fancy. They're just like hard stuck on each other. So if someone jumps in their box, they can both shoot them. If there's an opportunity there, they can both look for it, you know? Nice snipe. Now with the dashes, since they've sniped him, obviously he's weak. They know they can just fully aggro that. Yep, drop the body down. Don't know who actually got the knock. I guess Pollo got the knock there. You can dash front side. Again, since they both have some dash charges left. Now Peterbot's slightly at the front, so he should... Yep, so he's looking back to ensure that Pollo can rotate in safely. So after giving him, like, creating the metal boxes and giving some space, he looks back to ensure that Pollo has the space to work from. Now the C team on height. Lovely little height retake. Essentially just looking up and dashing up. Not very complicated. However, if you're a height team, you should probably be, this season, be going, if you don't have the dash, that is, be going pretty high into the sky to ensure that people can't do this to you. You can't be dash replaced. Ooh, Pollo actually dies here. Peterbot's jumped onto him. Another guy, another team cranking right, and he gets sniped by over peeking. Okay. Seems like that's one of the... I mean, that's just going to be one of their flaws, isn't it? That's twice this game they've been sniped. I guess that's probably one of the only ways you're going to be able to actually kill this team. So let's see how Peterbot plays this one out, and then we'll drop another endgame after this, where they do actually win. See the difference. Alright, chilling in backside. Again, I'm imagining, I need to see if Peterbot has Siphon, but if he has Siphon, he can kind of stay in the backside of the zone a little bit longer, in particular because he has splashes, which he's probably not going to waste. Yeah, he definitely has. You can see he's sitting at 150 HP, which is, he's just so confident that he can get a kill here, sorry, to replenish his HP using the Siphon. So he's not even using the splashes. Because he knows, I'll get a knock, I'll get a finish, HP will be recharged, don't need to waste anything. I highly don't recommend you do that. There's not a large likelihood that you are going to be able to frag out as well as he is. Alright. Still got tons of metal, since they've been basically dashing every zone, so they've saved a ton of their mats. It's a good time just to commit it. As you can see, he's not overcommitting to anything, but I was wrong. Nice, only one... Nice, that drum mag came in handy there. Bananas in Storm as well, so we can heal off. Lucky zone pull that pulls back. See, the banana's active, so... Again, he's basically... What a strange sentence, the banana's active. So he's basically just recharging his heals. Dash to front side, using some of the metal. His mats are running kind of low. Obviously, hard mats, that is. His wood's still there. But now he has to be a little bit more careful. He can't tarp as much. Players on top. I like that he doesn't overcommit for that. He doesn't jump straight in, but the player managed to fall straight into his box. Beautiful right-hand peek edits there to try and ensure he doesn't take any damage back, but the Siphon keeps him all the way up. And now it's a 1v2. If he wins this, I'd be incredibly impressed. Or that other team's just awful. Nice, goes back up to the old build. So this other team clear his mats. Maybe just Siphon. Sees the mats in Storm. That's almost 300 metal. That's huge. Okay, love the angle. He's not editing on anyone. He's just dropping down to try to get a free shot from behind. This other team's awful, I must add. Who is it? Who are you? You're getting cooked. Oh, nice piece, but again, you can't just edit on their face because there is two of them. Splashes are now running low. He's got no mats. Nice shot. Love the block with a ramp flip. Baka. Come on, Baka. Siphon gives him the white HP. No! Okay, that would have been it. That would have been an insane 1v2 had he made that. Had he made a different ramp edit rather than Mongrel Classicing, maybe he could have won that there. But that's insane. That is nuts. Alright, let's see. Condor spawn. Both 50-50 in the chest. Better drop. Instantly goes for the... How... He manages to grab all of the loot whilst pickaxing with a player on top of the chest. I don't know how he beat out the other player on top should have auto pickup. So surely he would be able to grab all that loot first. Because usually that's the case. Oh. Well, that was a clutch wall. That was an extreme... That basically just saved their game, it would seem like. It's following visual footsteps here. Super important. To understand where they are. Nice blocking the exit off. Because now essentially this team in here is trapped in between. An awful angle Peterbot's taken, but somehow it's working. Nice. And it just finishes them up. So again, same kind of thing we've seen for most fights. Peterbot up on top, taking one angle, taking replacing. Pollo from the back, pinching. Let's just see what that looked like from his POV. Yep. Pollo pressuring on one side. Absolutely duking on this guy. Nice pinch. Basically got them stuck into that awkward little basement by blocking off their exits from either side. Especially the double floor and cones. Floor and... I did say that right. I always say flown and cores. That Peterbot placed to start that. Alright, instantly jumping into the fight. This is by far the easiest boss fight. However, it's the most annoying because you keep getting third-partied. There you go. Boss spawns. Instantly finish them off. Nice. Now they have the coin. And again, the shotgun. And again, they have a gold gatekeeper. So they have almost the exact same loadout. Now, at this point, this is finals. So obviously, there's a higher level of play here. So this still has not been taken. There's tons of teams there. So it'd be interesting to see if they actually end up rotating up in a finals lobby. Because obviously, it's easy to do that in opens. Gold pistol for Peterbot. This thing's actually really, really good. DJ's been taking this a lot when we've been playing cash cups, and he says he fries with it. The only problem with it is that it's not the best for wall replacing and like box fighting, because it only has 15 shots per charge. And actually combining it with the mythic gatekeeper he has here means both of these weapons need to be reloaded a lot. So you kind of have to be careful if you're taking it to have a, like, obviously you're probably not going to have an AR as well. But you have to be very aware of your reloads if you're going to take both of these weapons. Alright, they do seem to be pushing towards the underworld, which is interesting. So you can obviously see that the icon there is that they're still fighting. It's not been taken. So this is maybe not only even a good opportunity to try and get the Siphon Medallion, but also just get some Surge. Someone else I don't know the name of. Dash again to close the distance. Peterbot spots that obviously he's been pressed on. Pressured, I mean. Tries to cut him off immediately. And obviously... Oh, they're going for the mod benches here. Okay. Pinches around the other side. Super aggressive just to jump in. I'm assuming Pollo already managed to get some damage off on him. Ooh, but he goes down. Okay, Pollo's out. Let's see what happened from Pollo's POV. It's one of the problems of being so aggressive. Nice, now he needs to reload both guns. Great escape to try and make sure all those boxes are his, but the finish comes through. Again, yep, takes his time, reloads. Something so important with these two weapons. Now he's got the berries. Maybe they're God Strat. Blocking a bunch of exits. I love that he's just single pickaxe swinging, opening and like holding the shotgun out. Pickaxe swing, shotgun out. Pickaxe swing, shotgun out. Just waiting. It's so difficult to fight against anyone who does that, because if you make an edit, they can just hit you. As long as you're standing on a good angle. Pickaxe swing, covers, nice. Changing up his angles all the time. Really trying to ensure he keeps the pressure up so the other player isn't able to obviously get the revive off of. Blocking all angles. Shoots, reloads. See? Shoots, reloads. There you go. You gotta do that with this gun. Because it only has the 3 shots in it. I don't know if he knows where the finish is here either. There you go. Body's down. So there's gonna be extra mats somewhere here. Alright, he just chooses to dip. Ooh, and go straight for the reboot. That's interesting. Instantly pressuring the reboot here means this other player either has to decide between going for that vault or just running away. Going for the vault, running away, or coming in to fight on the reboot here. So the instant pressure for this is so good. Because now that he's got him rebooted back up, he can jump straight back up there with no time wasted and get straight back into either looting the mods. I can think of the vault down below, grabbing Pollo's loot bank, and just getting straight back into the game. So really good play to disengage and just go straight for the reboot. And I'm imagining if you're the other team, you know who you're fighting against. And they're like, you know what, am I really going to go and push for that reboot? Probably not. Again, one of the best parts of going down here is that all of that gold does spawn. So if you're first in, you manage to get yourself a ton of gold. There's not as many applications for it this season, but of course modifying your weapons is always going to be best. If you're using the burst, laser, as always. If you're using this shotgun, slap that drum mag on it to avoid having to reload all of the time. But again, I've said a few times, not having a drum mag isn't the end of the world if you have a speed mag on, like the mythic, because if you didn't know, this mythic comes loaded with a speed mag. So you're just gonna have to do what Peterbot was doing in that fight: shoot, reload, shoot, reload. You can't play this gun like a pump. It's a very different weapon. All right, grabbing their extra metal. In each of these vaults, there's around 250 to 300 metal that you can get in here, if you include some of the stuff that's outside of it. So always good to go and refarm. It does take a while, so often these spawn inside of Storm, which is not super useful. But if you have whites, you can go grab a little bit extra metal from there. Ooh, nice shot. Pollo gets sprayed in the back. Love the counter aggression. You know, something that, whether you're box fighting or fighting at distance, is really important. Something that'll stop people spraying is getting shit. Ooh, I was gonna say getting shot. So, you know, to stop you getting focused and allow you to rotate deeper, just having one player turn around, shooting him, hitting with a big damage, and then okay, they're gonna box up. Oh no, don't look, they have a snipe, you know? So this allows Peterbot and Pollo to rotate a little bit freer. Rotations now also looking quite nice. As you can see from their drop spot, this is a pretty favorable zone for them, of course. Not all the zones were that favorable, looking into some of the matches. Position yourself on this side, dead side as always. All these players are wrapped around here. They have 5 elims. Like, there's absolutely no need for them to, like, base up for surge, go to congested side to go and look for damage or anything. Like, they can just situate themselves here and chill. I think also another point is that it depends how good their aim is, but with this team, I wonder if this team has surge. Probably not, given their health, but teams who sit on this area or on this hill will often obviously use the launch pads here to rotate later. So by boxing up in a position like this, you can, depending on where the zones pull, you can just farm them for surge if they end up rotating towards you. The reality is, though, they don't really need to worry about surge. They have so many elims already, so they've done so much damage in all of the fights that a surge strategy isn't really required. And this is one of the benefits of being a really good and consistent fighter, is that you can just put yourselves in early surge positions, in aka get a bunch of fights, get a bunch of elims, put your damage way up, and then for the rest of the game, you can just chill on dead side whilst everyone else is struggling on congested side. All right, got our first rotation to make. So they were in the center of zone, so this is not really that bad, especially when they have the dashes. So they've marked edge. Fizz, dash, it's almost impossible to hit you out the air. I'm not sure how laggy these lobbies are. Obviously, replay mode does not show that very well. And there you go. That's what I was talking about earlier. Kids padding. Unfortunately, they don't manage to hit a snipe onto it. But it's a good way to set yourself up. So nice. So by putting themselves a little bit higher into the sky there, that allows them to do the triple dash I just talked about. And again, Peterbot's instinct was to kind of look back and see if we can go for a snipe, but the angle didn't really permit it. Again, ramping up, ramp up. Now they're just sitting themselves on edge. Going any deeper into this zone isn't really that worth it. Staying right on edge is kind of bad. If they'd gone slightly deeper in here, maybe they would avoid these kind of teams who may be able to get in front of them. So say, for example, if the zone kind of pulls back to this side, or really anywhere, from here, if there's any teams in front of them, they have to wait for them all to rotate. But again, the reality is, they have the dashes, so they can kind of counter any of the bad positions they have by just dashing over them. So don't really need to waste any mats, even though none of this is theirs. This fight was going on for a long time, so the players here are obviously gone. The chance of them coming, like, editing you out is so low. Now, again, with the dashes and this good positioning, obviously, had they stayed down here, they would have been fine because they just got a lucky zone pull. But now they can dash into dead side of zone from here, and if they want to fight anyone, they can fight anyone from this side without worrying about getting shot in the back. So they've obviously spotted this team down here. They can see them rotating. Honestly, I would probably wait until these guys got closer before trying to snipe, because by sniping at them here, that might make them change their rotation where they move further away, like more to the left, and give you less opportunities. Had they kind of just sat up here, they could have convinced the team that they had left waited until they got closer and then got on like an easier time shooting them. Interesting, they're only like 500 above here. Maybe they just finished the fight so quick. Here, for example, had they stayed a little bit more hidden here, I guess this team could have rotated earlier. You could actually give this team a little bit of a better rotation towards you, then snipe them later. Because you see they'll probably go to the left here. Or just... oh, well, they'll just hit the shot anyway. Very aggressive to jump straight down for the finish, though. But I guess they need the loot. Because they're like 100 builds, and then I think Pollo was like 60 or something. He gets jumped in on backside. Oh, beautiful piece. Peterbot not just jumping straight in either. He's keeping his distance there. They got the dashes. I don't know if Pollo's going to go for that loot. He's medkitting in Storm. He's now going to drop the dash coins so they can get out. Yeah, and then they just basically ramp up free height from there. Most of these people were already in Storm here, so like there wasn't really much chance of anyone grabbing up onto height anyway. And it's not really that important to hold at this point in the game regardless. Where is... and zone pulls over into all this congestion and onto all these players. And Peterbot's fragging this game already. And with them, they just do exactly the same thing as they've done before. Oh, booga. Big snipe onto him. All they need to do is fizz, dash, get ahead, chillin'. Nice. Cone gives them good angles to peek from here. Any more snipes? Oh, nah. Alright, fizz. Nice. Beautiful shot to powers. And they can just jump straight onto him if they want to. And now they're going to focus on rotation. That is so broken, man. Now look back, but of course there's maybe too many players here to focus. Then time reloading. Grits is a solo. That could be free beams. Oh wow, they're actually being that aggressive. Just a straight W key onto the wall. Oh, he's not a solo actually. Okay, he's just split. I love that. In this 8th zone, you can get hyper aggressive onto players like that. Because it's not really a moving zone again. It's still... ultimately, this is... you move into this position and then it's wait. So you do have a little bit of time to assess the situation around you. And for them, they kind of landed at the backside. There was no one behind them. So pushing into a player like that is using a little bit of mass just to jump on him is totally fine. And again, at that position now, refreshed 80 builds, 130. Like, this is already like a winning loadout. They need like 1 or 2 elims in endgame, and they've won the game. All right, here we go. Flowberry dash. Elevated up onto a good layer, gives them a lot more vision, so they can spray back on. Let me hide these names. I think this also starts to pull up a hill, so elevating early, very good idea. Flowberry. Let's see where they go from here. Yep, continually elevating up. This kind of continual elevation also is going to give you the opportunity to take height later when the dashes recharge. Again, you can see Pollo kind of spinning in the box, looking around to see if there's any opportunities. Now with the dashes, don't need to use it yet. Once it's established where height is. That is hella aggressive. Jesus Christ. A little bit of an awareness check onto Rise. So from Rise's POV, he's on height. I don't know if they've just established or not. He's tarping front side. Okay, there's not much you can do there, is there? Right. So Yomzo here sees Pollo ramping up. This is also really nice from Peterbot, I will say. Going around the other side. Whilst Pollo comes up on the left. Slow-mo it. He sees him here. Dash. Yomzo tries to block off. Whilst Rise is in a little need of a awareness. So he sees that's probably the calm from Yomzo there. But in that exact moment... oh my god, that's such a good height retake. At that exact moment... Peterbot comes from one side, Pollo comes from the other. Pump, dead. Nothing you can do. So the synchronized dashing from either side is so good there. Thing is, like, that would have been an awful play from Pollo had he done it by himself. Or an awful play from Peterbot had he done it by himself. But the fact that they synchronized it together to both take height at the same time. At this point, it's like, you're just maintaining height. With no teams going to dash on you. Keep a relatively high layer. You can keep, if you're one to play a skybase or stay like extra high, you can kind of preemptively use the fizz to ensure you've always got HP. See, now this is a nice way to keep height in this meta to make sure you don't, even though they don't have the dash going, like some players will still have dash. One player skybasing, because they have the dash, they can manage to keep up if they want. And one player just much further below. Like Pollo gets no elims in this endgame. Spoiler. However, he's just ensuring they keep height by staying way high up. And you can do this if you have one dash. So if you, in this area, right? So like this is a zone that went through this way. If you've kept a dash, which would be difficult at this point, I understand that, but just hypothetically, one player can still hold height way up above and cancel all fall damage. Now, if you don't have a dash, one thing you can do here, is I kind of just alluded to that a second ago, is just ensure you always have some sort of fizz on. So like, you know, the fizz lasts, is it 20 seconds, 25? I can't remember exactly. 15? One of those lasts something like that. So you just use one use of it, stay up, and make sure that you're not getting chopped out, so you fall all the way down to low ground. Now, Peterbot, on the other hand, is staying kind of closer. He is the SMG, so he's going to be able to shred a bunch more... sorry, he's the better SMG. So he's going to shred a bunch more damage like this here. And he's just playing height almost like a solo, with Pollo way up above, just spraying down from higher as well. This is an incredibly difficult height hold to be able to retake height from. Splitting height, always been so good, always will be. Dropping ammo, so Pollo dashes down for it. Now probably just going to play together from here, I imagine, maybe? Or is he going to go back up? They dropped some wood. Imagine they just play together from here. Chances of having anyone having dash or something being able to get on you is so hard. Now kind of the Queasy Vino strategy almost, where once you're going to get into that final moving zone, you have one player drop down a lot and go for more walls. Your most aggressive, best fragger is usually the player who's going to... Why is this so loud? Going to be the player who's going to drop down, play for walls, play for angles, play for like replaces, and also get the mats if possible, right? Like, there you go. There's Yonzo taken out. Ooh, beautiful dash backwards there. I really like that. All you need to do is just hold backwards while you jump and dash, and you will do that. But I love that he's using that to escape from a bit of a tricky situation there. He just drops down, jumps into re, finishes off the last two players. Oh no, sorry, those two. Then I guess there's a solo left behind. He goes down. Pollo, gonna play medkits, heal off. 4 medkits. Like, you're not gonna win. The other guy's not gonna win this game. Nah, not. Powers has got nothing. Pollo's gonna win the heal off. Beautiful. Really nicely played. What's the conclusion? Are these guys incredible? Are they the best players in the world? Maybe not the best players in the world. They're definitely the best fighting duo I think the world has ever seen. I'd be interested to see how that plays out with these level of like aggression in a super stacked tournament like FNCS. I imagine they're definitely the favorites to win, surely, on NA. Unless they get heavily contested by another team, the dash coin is so worth it. And other teams may also get the strategy to go for it. NA is also just ass. So yeah, there you go. Enjoy.